On this edition of Lexington Now, affordable housing, back to school with the YMCA, and part 4 of police community partnerships. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of July 24th, 2023. The ribbon was cut on a new affordable housing development on 3rd Street, and we joined Mayor Gorton and other officials for the ceremony.
We are particularly pleased today to showcase our latest 6 units, an indication that yes, we are in fact redefining affordable housing in this community. A blighted corner has now been removed, somewhat magical. A $1.6 million complex paid for. Exceptionally designed units, modern open concept, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, indistinguishable from the private market.
The city and the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Housing Authority have worked together as partners since the first days of our merged government. In fact, the Housing Authority started work in Lexington 89 years ago, long before our current city government was created. Its work started right here in the East End. These townhouses qualify for housing vouchers. The city is not a partner in this development. It was built through the Housing Authority's good stewardship of fees from other federal developments. That's pretty cool. We are joining forces and providing resources for several upcoming developments, including the new Head Start Child Development Center and 9 affordable single-family houses under construction on a new street, Dr. Cyril A. Palmer Lane, just 2 blocks from here. Those new houses are among several hundred new or restored affordable housing units that will come online in Lexington this year through the city's Affordable Housing Office. The office has developed or preserved 3,200 units since its creation in 2014, 3,200. Affordable housing doesn't happen without partnerships, like our partnership with the Housing Authority.
I talk about the definition of affordability and affordable housing because still I have to bring this up because I have so many folks who live in this community that still may not be able to afford to live here, but thank you for those vouchers because that will give them a leg up. And Mr. Sims, almost as long as I've been born, you've been at the helm of the Housing Authority. So I hope you're preparing someone whenever you do slide to the left and you move over. Somebody's got some, I thought I had some shoes to fill, but somebody's gonna have some shoes to fill whenever you do decide to buy that Allen and just live on it for the rest of your life. So, here in the first, have you all even been inside these houses? I want to move from around the corner into one of these houses. They are so beautiful, and what an honor it is to stand here to represent the 1st Districts.
Commerce Lexington was proud to support the Hope 6 application that the Housing Authority used and was granted in 2005 when the transformation of the area surrounding this project began. We know for a fact we're in a housing crisis here in Fayette County. Everybody understands and acknowledges that, with many families across our community struggling to find the housing needs and to find the budget. And what's great, as I just pointed out, is everybody, look at this crowd. Look at who's here. We're all coming together.
1, 2, 3.
The YMCA is launching its Back to School program, and we caught up with the folks at the Northside branch to get the detail.
I'm Jessica Berry, the Vice President of Mission Advancement for YMCA of Central Kentucky. I'm responsible for some of our mission advancement programs that live out our social responsibility in the community, as well as fundraising for programs across our Y. We are excited to once again host the Back to School rallies. We started coordinating this effort back in 2011, but this effort it goes back decades through other organizations, and so on Saturday, August 5th, we'll be giving out over 5,000 backpacks to families who need a little bit of extra support, because we all know that the cost of everything has gone up, including school supplies. So we'll be giving those out in 13 different locations. 11 of those locations are here in Fayette County, 1 in Jessamine County, and 1 in Franklin County. They do need to show up and register at 9:30, and then we have activities, fun, games, food that'll go until 12:30. We'll give out those backpacks around 11 or 11:30, but they do need to come to the site to register at 9:30, and they can find a list of those sites on our website. The backpacks are free to families. We have raised money, and we have some major contributor with Setzer Properties, as well as the United Way and some others. So they come out, they don't have to pay anything. The festivities are free, and so we really just want them to enjoy and consider this a kickoff to going back to school. We'll have school employees there that'll engage with families so they can maybe meet some of our students for the first time. But that's the goal, to bring communities, families, and schools together to celebrate the start of the year. They can go to our website and look for programs, and they'll find back to school rallies. And so if they're interested in getting involved or donating to the cost of those supplies, they can find that on our website. The average cost of a backpack is about $20. It does have a backpack full of supplies, paper, pencils. We try to get the staples that are on most of the school supply lists. We couldn't get everything, but if they want to donate, it's about $20 per backpack. In the backpacks, you'll find just some basic supplies. Again, we couldn't provide everything, but it does come with a backpack, journals, paper, folders, glue, pencils, and for elementary, it's crayons. For older kids, it might be a little bit more of the folders and additional paper. Again, if you'd like to volunteer at our back to school rallies, you can go on our website, look for back to school rallies, and all the information is there, including a link to volunteer. We also will be stuffing backpacks here at the North Lexington YMCA on August 1st and 2nd, and so that information will be there as well. We believe that the backpack rallies are essential to families who may not be able to afford the long list of supplies that kids need to go back. And so offering this backpack for free is really important for some families, and it's also important to get the kids out and engage with their teachers, their administrators, their principals early before the school year starts, but also for parents to meet those same people. And so we feel like this is a community opportunity where we can all rally around our students to ensure their success in the new school year. This is in thanks to our partners, Fayette County Public Schools, Setzer Properties, United Way of the Bluegrass, Bauman Paper Supplies, and CHI St. Joseph Health. We could not do this without them, and we could not do it without additional support from the public. Again, our back to school rallies, everyone can come out on August 5th from 9:30 to 12:30. You do need to register, so please get there around 9:30 to ensure that you get a backpack. And we are hosting 13 different neighborhood sites, 11 of those in Fayette County, 1 in Jessamine County, and 1 in Franklin County.
When we come back, we talk crime-free housing. Welcome back to Lexington Now. We continue our series on police partnerships with Part 4, the crime-free multi-housing program.
I'm Officer Jerome Bean with the Lexington Police Department, and I'm one of the instructors for the Lexington Crime-Free Multi-Housing Program. So it is a program that we have put together, and we do a one-day, 8-hour course for apartment managers, maintenance personnel, property owners. We'll have different instructors. We'll have instructors from the police department. We'll have neighborhood resource officers come and talk. We'll have code enforcement talk. We'll have Mr. Stephen Marshall here, who is a civil attorney, who will answer any civil questions that they have. Some of our detectives will come in. Our narcotics detective will come in and give them some pointers on what to look for narcotics and things like that. And then we'll also have one of our detectives come in and we'll teach them a version of how to de-escalate a situation if someone comes into the office and they're yelling and screaming about something. We'll have a detective come in and kind of give them some de-escalation points on how to get the situation calmed down enough to where they can call the police if they need to be called. It gives the apartment managers tools to help combat criminal activity on their property, which will just make the neighborhoods that their property are in a much better place for people to live. They're going to be like, hey, you know, we're not going to have this type of activity on our property because this is our community. This program is important because it's a partnership between the Lexington Police Department and our apartment communities. We don't call them apartment complexes there in this program. We call them communities because that's what they are. So we like to build that relationship with them in the police department and give them vital information or contacts that they could have if they're having issues on their property so that they can have an individual to contact. So 9 times out of 10, I'm that individual that they'll contact, and then I'll make sure that the proper people are notified about the issue to help get their problem solved. You can go to the Lexington Police Department webpage and go to the Crime-Free Multi-Housing section, and you'll be able to read. There is program information on there. There is a brochure on there with information on there that'll tell you more in depth about the program. We hold the program once a year, so we're getting ready to probably have one in August. So once we get our date set, we will have an application on there, and then they can go on there and fill out the application and send it back to us.
Join us next week as we wrap up this series. We're officially in the dog days of summer, and it's a reminder that humans aren't the only ones who feel the heat.
As the temperature continues to rise, many people are doing more and more outside activities.
And like a lot of us, we like to spend our outdoor time with our pet. But we as humans take all kinds of precautions. Hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, a bottle of water. We sometimes forget about our four-legged friends like Max here, who are wearing a fur coat 24/7.
To get some tips on how to help your pet beat the heat, I stopped by the Shaybell Veterinary Hospital for some advice.
The time that we see the most heat strokes is now, and so you would think June, July, August, but when dogs aren't acclimated to the weather and the weather changes, that's when we start seeing heat strokes. So April, May, I typically see more than the hottest months, which is kind of surprising. And so make sure fresh water is available. Don't keep them out, if it's over 70 or 80, limited exposure. If you have a very active dog, kind of limit their activity in the heat of the day. Brachycephalic dogs, so dogs with squish nose, Bostons, pugs, boxers, they don't handle the heat well. And so I wouldn't take them to the dog park or running or any outdoor activity, and from 10 in the morning till 5 at night on hot days, because they just can't tolerate the heat. In the heat of the day, keeping them on the grass is better than the hot concrete. Some dogs shouldn't be walked in the heat of the day just because it burns their pads, and so definitely stay off the black asphalt. Sometimes concrete is not terribly as hot as black because it doesn't attract the heat, but grass is going to be better for sure. The big thing to watch for is excessive panting is kind of a first sign. So if they can't get comfortable and they're trying to lay down and kicking their feet out and panting a whole lot, they're restless because they're getting overheated. A lot of times their gums will be really pink and injected, and more so than normal. Extreme cases, you start seeing vomiting, diarrhea. A lot of times they can have blood pass in their stool. End stages or convulsions can even cause death. And so if you start noticing that, you need to cool your dog off pretty fast and get them to the vet.
And if your pet's like Joey here, who likes to take long summer drives with his head out the window, you gotta make a plan to make sure your pet spends no time in an unattended hot car.
The hot weather becomes crucial time for animal welfare. What you want to make sure you always have handy is extra water for your dogs and cats. If you keep your dogs and cats outside, you want to definitely have an area constructed where they have adequate shade. and it's essential in this time of season not to leave your dogs or cats locked in hot vehicles. A lot of people just want to spend as much time with their beloved pets as possible, so they want to take them on errands with them, which we totally understand, but sometimes you do need to leave your pets at home or with trusted friends and family because they can overheat really quickly in vehicles, and it is something that we do respond to, so we can potentially go out if your dog is in your car unattended. If you absolutely have to take your dog or cat with you in the car, make sure you have visible food and water present for them. It's not uncommon for us to do a temperature reading inside of a car and it to be above 100 degrees. So it can be extremely hot in there. That's why animals can get in distress a lot hotter, and especially a lot of small breeds that have more breathing issues can get hotter and in distress a lot quicker. So it is something we see very common. So it is important to just leave your pets at home if you can, but if not, always have that food and water available. Every call that we respond to is situational. We do respond to every single complaint that we get, anything animal related, but especially when it's animal welfare concerns. And it just depends on a lot of different factors, how much history we have with that particular person, what condition their animal is, how bad distress they're in. If it's something that can be fixed through education, we always want to do that. But if it's something that's beyond the point of education, then we do have every right on a cruelty case to issue a charge and seize the animal if we have to do that. But we prefer to work with the public and educate them to try to make sure that if it's a pet that they love, that they keep it home but in compliance. We rely 100% on the community to call us and tell us whenever they see an animal in distress, endangered, trapped, or possibly being abused. So please call us at 859-255-9033. That's where you'll get to our dispatcher, and we do have an animal control officer working 24/7. You can always visit our website for information, which is www.lfacc.org, or go on our Facebook page, but those are not for emergencies. If you have an emergency with an animal in distress, you should always call us.
Summer recess continues for council, but we do still have some live meeting coverage to tell you about, and you can catch any action right here or on our website. And remember, for the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business, check out our website at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.